Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I post weekly what's for dinner ideas, grocery hauls, and different things like that. I would be grateful if you subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment down below about what you think. Today I have 3 ideas for your leftover turkey. First for you, I have a turkey tetrazzini. You're going to start by breaking either spaghetti noodles or linguine noodles in half and just boiling them until they are ready. Just make sure you're strong enough to break the noodles in half, unlike me. Then in a mixing bowl, you are going to put in half a cup of softened butter. The recipe called for 2 cans of cream of celery, but I used 1 can of cream of celery and 1 can of cream of mushroom, 1 cup of sour cream, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, a half teaspoon of pepper, 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth, and 3 cups of cooked turkey diced. And then you're going to just mix all that up. And once your noodles are ready and drained, you're going to combine them with your mixture. And then once you have everything mixed together really well, you're going to put it into a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. Sprinkle on some Parmesan and mozzarella cheese and breadcrumbs, and you're going to bake it uncovered at 350 for 35 to 40 minutes. This one was actually everyone's favorite out of all 3. Our 2-year-old was sitting at the table and he was saying, this is good, Dada. He loved it. But like I said, everyone did. This stuff got devoured. I was really lucky because I ended up getting the leftovers for lunch the next day. So I was pretty excited about that win. Now I'm going to make a turkey pot pie. You're going to start with 3 carrots, 2 russet potatoes, a little bit of celery, and a little bit of onion. That's the best I got for you. I'll link the recipe down below if you want exact. But I just had some onions and celery left over from the other day when I was cooking my Thanksgiving meal, so I just tossed those in instead of, chopping up another one. But I used this little handy dandy thing that I hardly ever use. I just figured for a turkey pot pie, I wanted everything to cook evenly, and I wanted all of these to be the exact same size, more specifically the potatoes. But once you have all those diced up into a pan, you're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter and then throw all of your veggies in. And then toss in 2 tablespoons of parsley flakes and 1 teaspoon of oregano. And then you are going to stir all this up really well together and just saute it for a few minutes. Oh, and a little bit of salt too. I don't, know exact measurements. That's how I always do with my salt pepper, but I threw a little bit of salt in there and I'm just mixing it all up and going to saute it until they're all pretty much softened. And now I am just dicing up some of my turkey. It called for about 3 cups of diced turkey, and I ended up thinking that I had, a cup and a half, not 3 cups. I'm thinking of a different recipe. A cup and a half of turkey for this one, and I figured I had pulled out enough, so that's why I put those up. But now earlier when I was doing the carrots, I didn't do my potatoes yet since they are going to be going in a second. You'll see, excuse my mess, real life chopping up veggies over here. But as you can see, this thing gets them all the exact same size, and I love it for that. And now to your vegetable mixture, you're going to throw in 2 cups of water and either 2 teaspoons of the chicken bouillon powder stuff or 2 chicken bouillon cubes. And then you're going to throw in all of your potatoes, and then you're going to cook this until the potatoes are almost done, but not like completely done. And now you're just going to make a roux to thicken up the pot pie while it is baking. I have thrown in half a stick of butter and a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'm just stirring it up just to get that floury taste out of it. And then a cup of milk. You're really supposed to pour that in a lot slower. I was just ready. I was ready to be done at this point with dinner. I was tired this day, but anyways. And then I'm throwing in my turkey here and just going to stir that up. And as you will see in a minute, it gets pretty thick. And then once this is all ready and your potatoes and all that stuff are ready as well, you're going to pour this into that mixture and stir it up really well. And don't judge me for my pie crust. I was trying to use everything that I had on hand, and I had one deep dish one in the freezer and one like Pillsbury one in the fridge. So I just had to make that work, and it was too small for the bottom. But anyway, I put it in my pie pan, dish, whatever. You pour the filling in, and then you're going to top it with another pie crust. Make sure you cut the little incisions, you know, in the center of it to make sure the heat and steam can escape. And then, as you'll be able to see, I did the little indentions with my fork as well to try to make it look all fancy. And then you're going to cook it at 425 for 15 minutes. You're going to turn the heat down to 350 and cook it for another 30 minutes. And I completely forgot to get a video of me actually pulling the turkey out of the oven. So you're just going to see what it looks like when I'm cut into it, and am cutting into it. And you cannot judge it. It is so ugly. It looks like a hot mess. There's no way for me to get that pretty, but I tried, and it was delicious. Like, if you like pot pies, you've got to make that one. And now I'm going to make my version of turkey a la king. I had to contact my dad on this one because he made this as a kid. And I was like, what was that stuff you used to make with turkey? And he poured it over toast, because I'm telling you, I loved this stuff as a kid. Anyway, I just started with a stick of butter, melted it, and poured in half a cup of all-purpose flour. Pretty much the same thing, a roux like you did with the turkey pot pie. And then I'm slowly pouring in 2 cups of milk to it. I actually did it slowly this time. And then of course, that looks all cloudy, but it just had the milk in it. Anyway, it is a cup of water, because you can also use turkey broth. I didn't save any from the turkey, so I didn't have any. So I decided just to use the Knorr's chicken broth stuff. So I'm going to slowly pour in a cup of water, and then I will add that seasoning. That was not very slow. Okay, so now I'm adding in my chicken bouillon stuff, a teaspoon of sage and a teaspoon of celery salt and a little bit of pepper, and that is it for seasonings. I think I ended up adding a little bit more pepper once I did my taste test here. Yeah, I know I did actually, just because I like mine a little bit peppery, but if you don't, add just, a little bit. And then you're going to, this was the last of my turkey. I was so proud of myself for using all this up. Nothing went to waste, like super proud. So this was probably about 2 to 3 cups of diced turkey. Yeah, something like that. And no, that's 2 cups. That's not 3. And then you're going to just stir it up and it's ready. Like, you can put this over pasta, but this is just how I loved it as a kid. And this is how I wanted it really badly. I just toasted a couple pieces of bread, put some of my turkey gravy on there, and went to town because I'm telling y'all, this is delicious. And it took me way back to being a kid. Thank y'all so much for watching. I am extremely grateful for all of you and all of your support. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here.